Hello and welcome to the Flash Fantasy Variety Show. I am today's host, and on behalf of all of us here, we thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy. Watcher in the Sky. The moon was always the first thing he noticed when the night was darkest, and he was alone with himself to stand out on his small balcony, his hands clasping the cold wrought iron fence. The sphere in the milky black sky was of gargantuan proportion, hanging low, full, and sullen in the sky, basking the world in a glow not truly its own. Its battered surface showed the scars of innumerable years and its unknowable trauma from the cosmic beyond, yet it hung still. His hands clenched to the rusted metal, small flakes peeling off and falling slowly down to the quiet street several stories below. The destitution of his home was reflected in his life, alone and with nothing more to his name than the small home he lived in. No one was there for him, except for her. She was always there for him, always right above his head, the watcher in his sky, beaming down her silvery love. Ever since he was a child, she had been there for him, and he had spent countless nights staring at her, basking in the cold, shallow glow of her ethereal rays. All he could hear during the day was her voice, beautiful and soft, deep in his mind, beckoning, always beckoning him to join her. He had studied her his entire life, following her call. It had been that night 10 years ago, deep in that sunken grove, lit only by her brilliance, where he had seen her. Truly seen her. Seen the truth. He had laid on the ground, staring up, his entire vision filled by her visage, her light basking him, almost blinding, but he couldn't dare look away. He was utterly transfixed by what he saw, and he could never forget it. His mind was gripped and filled with visions of the truth, of grandeur, of his calling, his own brilliance. Shapes and forms and colors he could never hope to put to word or ink, undulations of creation and abstraction, formless forms ever morphing, ever changing. Lights and sounds flooded him, and he shook on the ground, not with fear, but with jubilation. Divine intervention had come to him at last, and the visions he saw were magnificent. The deep lunar abysses he traversed in his mind's eye filled him with wonder and grandiosity at the scenery unfurling itself before him. The odd geometry of his surroundings ever warping around him. Concave became convex, up was left, and down was right. The mental flood continued, and he was there. He was on the surface of the moon, and the forest floor beneath him, both at once and not at all. Finally, the severity ceased, and the edges of his vision shone with the brilliance of her light. Standing before him, there they were. 5 forms stood, vaguely humanoid in shape, tall, with lanky limbs and long fingers, their hands outstretched towards him. They were naked and slightly gaunt, with their skeletons visible and their skin a pale bone white. Their faces shrouded in that ethereal light so that he could not make them out. They towered above him and beckoned for him to join them, to come with them and join in the exaltation of the divine, the true order of the world and the universe. This was the moment he realized he was sobbing, his cries and shrieks echoing through the previously silent forest. He convulsed on the ground as his mind was still held in that soft grip. He screamed, but not from fear. He cried, for he had seen. He cried, for he now knew, and slowly his cries softened and began to change. He began to laugh and laugh and laugh, shaking and crying and throwing his arms to the sky, attempting to join the forms who beckoned to him. He slammed his fists into the ground when he couldn't reach, leaving indents in the soft dirt below him. His shrill laughs continued pouring from his wide-open mouth as he rolled and spun on the ground. The forms began to fade as the grip on his mind was slowly relinquished, the tendrils of her reach retreating from his head. When they were gone, and he was left staring at the moon again, his chest heaved, breathing heavy as he continued to cry. He had felt her. He had been her. His mind had no doubt been shattered, snapped like a twig under a heavy force. He had seen the truth, and the truth was beautiful. He had been changed that night. While his mind was snatched away, his body had been wrapped in that heavenly light. As he convulsed, his body had begun to pop, snapping as his limbs stretched and grew slightly. His skin had taken on the sullen pale white of his love, and his pupils were gone, replaced with 2 orbs of dark umbral blackness. His nose was transfigured into slits and an indent of its former shape. His skin pulled tight over his now longer frame. Feeling slowly returned to him, and his muscles stretched as he gazed himself up and down. He was perfect. He stood, slowly rising to a new height on his elongated legs. His clothes fell off of his ill-fitting frame, revealing his new gaunt body. The light of the moon reflected off of him and filled him with utter elation. He was new. He was right. This was him. He had stayed in that forlorn grotto for days, just admiring himself, gazing up and down his limbs, and staring deep into his reflection in the puddles of morning dew. Although still dazed by the righteous truth he had experienced, he laid on the ground, waiting for his mind to return to him, for his senses to sharpen again. Eventually, he became accustomed with his true form, and the fog in his mind had lifted. He crawled back to his decrepit abode. There he stayed for 10 years, no longer in need of human comforts like food or sleep, instead waiting for the light of his love to shine on him, to signal the coming of night. Then he would stand out on that small balcony, and he would bask in the most holy light. He waited as his transformation continued, slowly his body continuing to morph into its eventual zenith. His flesh continued to shrink in over his bones, and his skin began to pale further, the darkness of his eyes becoming blacker still. The man in him was gone, finally replaced fully with something new. The rays of that brilliant watcher fueled him now, and he had no thoughts of his former self or life. Only his new purpose and his completed transformation. He waited patiently for the day he would ascend, the day he would be called upon again when his transformation was truly complete, and he would join his lunar brethren. They would live truly in their faith and the excellence of their love, living in unknowable joy and splendor up there on its beaten surface. Thank you for tuning in to the Flash Fantasy Variety Show today. We hope you enjoyed that story, and we'd love to see you again soon.